Hello there, my friend. Welcome to another episode of our Wellbeing Wednesday. Now, I know that navigating the vastness of dietary advice after breast cancer treatment can feel like you are stuck in a whirlwind of conflicting information, right? Overwhelming, not knowing every time you turn around, there's a new diet trend or an expert telling you what's best for you. And I totally understand how overwhelming this can be, especially when you're trying to find what truly supports your recovery and your well-being, but also fits where you are in your life today, right? Like through to the bone, exhausted, overwhelmed, dealing with brain fog, feeling pressure, right? There's so many elements that make this different than before cancer. Now, before I dive into helping you navigate this sea of conflicting dietary advice, let me just introduce myself if we haven't yet met, right? If we haven't met before, my name's Karen Del Maestro. I am your health coach and resilient routines expert, and I specialize in helping breast cancer survivors just like you adopt easy, healthier eating habits so that you can cut through the chaos and find a simple, clear path that works for you. Okay. Now, I know because I speak to hundreds of breast cancer survivors that it's incredibly frustrating, right? To be bombarded with mixed messages about what you should be eating. Right. You might be, one day it's all about low carb. Another, it's about adopting a vegan lifestyle or a vegetarian lifestyle. And, with so many different options, it's easy to feel lost and unsure about which advice to follow, right? It can be confusing and make it even harder to stick to a healthier eating plan because you're not sure if it's the right one for you. Right? And we don't want to get it wrong. The stakes are big here, so we don't want to get it wrong, right? And so what we really want, and I know this is what I wanted too, is a clear, easy to follow dietary guidelines tailored specifically for breast cancer survivors like you, right? Some straightforward advice that's easy to follow, that doesn't involve upending your whole entire life, right? That fits into your lifestyle, your energy level, and helps you feel more energized, right? Helps you feel better, helps you relieve the pressure that you're feeling up here and here to eat better and actually start doing it. And I invite you to imagine how it would feel to have a simple, effective plan that doesn't add to your stress, but instead lightens the load that you're carrying, right? Supporting your healing, making you just feel better all around. I want you to imagine what that would feel like for a second. If you're somewhere where you can close your eyes, please do so and just soak that feeling in and realize how that would feel for you. Because I want you to know that you deserve a nutrition plan that makes you feel empowered and confident in your choices. Because I know that, and again, this is, I know it because I've heard it over and over again from women just like you, that one of the biggest fears is making the wrong choice, right? Getting it wrong, doing something to increase your risk of getting sick again, or not seeing the results that you're hoping for. Perhaps you're looking for more energy or weight loss or, reducing that belly bloat, all of the things that we might actually be looking for, right? You might worry that following this conflicting advice could hinder your recovery, right? One week you're doing this, the next week you're doing that. Should you eat meat? Should you not eat meat? Right? And maybe you're worried that these things don't align with what your body is actually needing. And I want you to know please understand that it's completely natural to be concerned about whether you're making the right choices or not. Especially, I've even come up with a nickname, right? For our desire to research and be bombarded by the tens of millions of options that we find on Google, looking for the right one, right? And the nickname that I've given you, if this sounds like you, is you're an inquisitive investigator. You want to get it right. You want to do the right thing. And you don't want to get it wrong because the cost of getting it wrong means that you might hear those spine-chilling words again. It feels big. It feels like a lot of pressure, right? And this fear of getting it wrong, especially if you're somebody that's always put a lot of pressure on yourself, right? You've always wanted to do the right thing, probably grew up as the good girl. I can relate to this, by the way. And so this fear of getting it wrong can be absolutely paralyzing. Absolutely paralyzing. And I want you to know, as I'm saying this, if this is resonating with you, I want you to know that this is so common. You're not alone. You're not alone. But, and here's the thing, what I want you to feel is that empowered feeling. I want you to help regain control and confidence in your dietary decisions, right? Because there is no one size fits all. There is no one answer. Okay. Just like there's no diets don't work, by the way. So there's no one diet that works for everybody. You may have already realized this. It's the same here. So my approach to healthy eating is a little different. It's not all about recipes. It's not all about pressure. It's certainly not about perfection, because I don't believe that that is the sustainable way for you to get to where you want to go. I've been in this industry for over 20 years. I've seen what works. I've seen what doesn't work. And more than anything, I want you to feel less stress, less pressure, and start to take small steps that start to help you feel more confident versus sitting in that place of fear. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. So I want to go ahead and share 3 tips with you today to help you navigate, right, and reduce this feeling of overwhelm. Because again, the overwhelm is stress and pressure. That is not good for us. That is not healthy for us. So my whole jam is to help release that stress and pressure and make things easy to move forward. So tip number 1 is to simplify your approach. Who wants to do that? Right? Raise your hand, pop it in the chat. Like, let me know. Don't you want to simplify things? Right? And so how do we do this? By focusing on just a few core nutritional principles that are beneficial for breast cancer survivors, period. Now, I want you to recognize as I'm saying this, simplify, do less, make it easy. I want you to recognize that your mind is going to come in and try to sabotage you. It's going to come in and say, but it's not enough. But that's not going to get me where I want to go. But I should be doing more. Okay, so I want you to recognize these thoughts when they come up. And I want you to put those thoughts on trial. Because those thoughts, my friend, are keeping you stuck. Those thoughts are keeping you stuck. And so I can help you move through those thoughts. I can help you start to do things differently. And this is the whole key. This is the whole premise of what I teach. And so think about simply looking at whole foods, like fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grain and lean proteins, right? Because they're not only nutritious, but they're also easy to incorporate into your daily routine. Now, we know that we need to eat more fruits and vegetables, right? And perhaps you've read that you need to go vegan or vegetarian, but you're like, but I like a juicy burger. What do I do with that? I don't want to give up my burger. Well, my approach is that you don't have to give up your burger. The quality of the beef will be a conversation that we have. But can you add an apple as a snack? Can you add carrots and hummus for your afternoon snack? Can you add in more fruits and vegetables versus feeling like you have to give everything up? Easy, right? Watch your mind. Watch your mind in case that mind comes in. Now we want to think about reducing processed foods. That's the number of foods that we're buying in a package. And when we're exhausted, it's very easy to go to the freezer section and grab frozen meals. It's very easy to pick up the phone and call for takeout. And so this is where you get to be mindful and really focusing on the artificial ingredients in those processed foods, because they will not support your recovery. Okay. These artificial foods, preservatives, herbicides, things that are used in processed foods are going to be the opposite of what you're looking for. But I invite you to keep your approach simple, right? Focused on the basics. We can go more complex once you've got your foundation of the basics down. Okay. I'm not saying that this is where we're staying, but this is where we get to start so that you can start to move forward, so that you can get unstuck. And that's why what I teach often comes before more complex programs, even with other coaches, because I teach the basics so that you can start moving forward and get out of this feeling of being overwhelmed. Okay. The second one, my second tip might be to consult with a dietitian, a health coach, a nutritionist, somebody that actually specializes in post-cancer nutrition, right? Somebody that can tailor your needs based on your blood work, your treatment, your history, your lifestyle, right? Get help. You don't have to manage this on your own. You are now in a different situation than you've ever been ever before in your life. Okay. So even if you've been able to stick to things in the past, you may not right now. It doesn't mean anything about you. It just means that this is where you are. And it's okay to reach out for help, right? So that you get the support that you deserve and the guidance to help you get your energy back, your life back, maintain your health. Okay. You don't have to do it on your own. I promise you. And the third thing I want to talk about today is tracking your progress. Because so often when we're in it, right, when we're stuck in the mud, we don't realize that we're actually taking steps, especially when there's small steps, the way that I teach you. So even something like keeping a food diary, right, to monitor how different foods might affect you, your energy level, your mood, your sleep, your bloating, all of these things, even your skin, your hair, your vision, all of these things are affected by the foods that we eat. And so noticing, for me, knowledge is power, right? And so noticing how I feel after certain foods is so powerful, because if I notice, for instance, I know that eggs make me tired. I have a sensitivity to eggs. Now you might say, well, that really sucks. And it does, because I love eggs and I enjoy them, and they're like a pure protein, right? They're like the perfect little meal in one package. But so does it mean that I don't ever eat eggs? No. I do eat eggs because I enjoy them, and I also know that they're nutritious. But do I eat eggs every day? No. I know that if I eat eggs, I'm going to want a nap afterwards. That's a sign that that food doesn't work for my body, right? And so when we do something like a food diary and we're tracking this, then we get to see these patterns. Such important data. So all it is data, right? It's information that we get to then use to make other choices, just like me. That doesn't mean that I don't eat eggs. I just choose when I'm going to eat them. I'm not going to eat them if I'm traveling, if I've got a busy day ahead of me, if I need to focus and work with clients, or I'm coaching, or showing up to speak at an event. Then I'm not having eggs beforehand. I'm going to have my oatmeal with almond butter and some wild blueberries, because I feel energized after that. And so this is the power that we get to notice and can truly help us identify these patterns, right? Understanding these foods that make you feel better or worse. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. Write it down on your phone. You can grab a notebook, whatever you like. But these things can help you and give you so much information. So just to recap, right, we talked about 3 things to help you navigate this incredibly overwhelming world of dietary advice. We talked about simplifying your approach and going for just real food, right? They're called whole foods, real food, as close to nature as possible, right? And it's so easy when we think of fruits and vegetables. They're already packaged. They're already ready to go. Consulting with a dietitian, a health coach, nutritionalist, somebody that specializes in helping breast cancer survivors so that you can get the help that you deserve. And you deserve it. And thirdly, we talked about tracking your progress, tracking the foods and how they make you feel, tracking how you feel when you eat more processed foods and when you eat more whole foods. Just tracking it, it becomes incredibly powerful data for you to then make empowered and confident decisions about the foods that you want to eat. Okay. And so what I hope that you take away from this today is that navigating this world of dietary advice doesn't have to be stressful or confusing. Okay, it doesn't have to be. But by focusing on simple, clear strategies, seeking the personalized support that you need, you can cut through the noise. You can cut through the noise. You can find out what works best for you. Start to move forward versus feeling like you're just stuck in the mud with the pressure, this voice in your head saying, you know, you should be eating better. Why aren't you doing it? Right. So instead of that horrible voice that makes you feel this big, I want you to start taking steps and start stepping into who you really are, which is this amazing, resilient person who can do this. Even if you've struggled in the past, I want you to know that you can do this when you follow an approach that's a little different to what you're seeing out there. And I want you to know that there are tools and resources available to help guide you. Okay, you don't have to do it on your own. Please don't feel like you have to. So for more practical advice and support tailored specifically for breast cancer survivors like you, I'd like to invite you to join our masterclass, From Difficult to Doable, because it can be, right? 4 key steps to start eating healthier today. In this masterclass, we're going to be exploring simple steps to help you create a manageable and effective nutrition plan. You've got this, my friend. You've got this. And we're here to support you every single step of the way. Don't feel like you have to do it alone. Okay? My name's Karen Don Maestro. I'm your health coach, your resilient routines expert, and I am here to make healthy eating totally doable if you'll let me guide you. Okay? Bye for now, and I will see you next Wednesday. Have an amazing week. Don't forget, sign up for the class. You're going to find the link around wherever you're watching this video. Bye for now.